soil and wealth for toil. Our home is girt by sea. Our land abounds with nature's gifts of beauty, rich and rare. In history's page let every stage advance Australia fair. In joyful strains then let us sing, advance Australia fair.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to this wonderful occasion. To start, I respectfully acknowledge the traditional custodians, the Pambalong clan of the Awabakal people, on whose traditional land this campus is located. And I pay my respects and the university's respects to elders past, present and future. As Chancellor of this university and a graduate myself, I'm delighted to be able to celebrate this milestone in your academic journey. Graduates, today you take with you a degree from one of the finest institutions in the world. Newcastle is acknowledged for delivering excellence in education to its 38,000 students. Our degree programs are designed to meet the needs of business and industry today and anticipate those needs well into the future. As a result, the University of Newcastle rates highly for outstanding overall student education experience. That standing is underpinned by the university's ongoing drive to improve how we research, teach and learn, and collaborate with industry and employers. This year, the university started work on the new Honeysuckle City campus, preparing the site for the first main building's construction. That's scheduled for completion in late 2020, and the first stage of which will deliver cutting-edge facilities for the School of Creative Industries and also provide an innovation hub which will promote greater opportunities for students and researchers to collaborate with industry and investors. The university is globally recognised for its research output. Indeed, many of our researchers are leading the effort to solve some of the world's greatest challenges. Among the university's research achievements this year is $35 million in funding from the Australian Research Council for a new centre of excellence in the area of minerals processing. The university is also part of a consortium of local and international partners to create a new, again, $35 million centre of excellence in synthetic biology. Across all disciplines, from the sciences to humanities, the University of Newcastle is recognised for research that delivers impact and innovation. Importantly, the university's focus on excellence in education and research sits hand in glove with a long-held commitment to equity. We offer the opportunity of education to students from all walks of life who have talent and determination. 1/4 of our students are from low socio-economic backgrounds, and we have the largest number of Indigenous students of any Australian university. Bolstering this proud achievement is our recent appointment of Nathan Towney as Pro Vice-Chancellor Indigenous Strategy and Leadership. In this role, he will lead our Indigenous education framework and is also responsible for leading the implementation of our Indigenous employment strategy, a really important initiative at this stage. Ladies and gentlemen, I would like to inject something here. Today, I'm sure, as we all know, marks 1 week since the volcanic eruption on Whakaui White Island in New Zealand. At the invitation of New Zealand's Prime Minister Jacinda Ardern, I'd like to suggest that we pause for 20 seconds or so to express our sorrow for those who've died or been hurt and support for the grieving families and friends, and join our cousins across the Tasman. I wonder if you'd all mind standing, join me in observing just a brief silence in solidarity with those who've been impacted by this terrible tragedy. Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you. Now to our graduates, today's celebration of the completion of your studies marks another important milestone for you. Your entry into the University of Newcastle's alumni network, and you're in very good company. One example from the Faculty of Engineering and Built Environment is alumnus Dr. Brendan Gien, who completed a Bachelor of Design in 1997. Dr. Gien is the CEO of Good Design Australia and Chair of Australia's annual Good Design Award. He's also President Emeritus of the World Design Organisation, the world body for industrial design. He was a member of the Board of Directors for 3 consecutive terms and elected President of that organisation from 2013 to 2015, making him the first Australian to hold that position. From the Faculty of Medicine, alumnus Kira Milam graduated in 2006 with a Bachelor of Arts in Communication Studies and a Bachelor of Science, as well as a Doctor of Philosophy in Physics in 2011. Ms Milam is based in Wellington with the International Union for Conservation of Nature as the Director of Strategic Partnerships. Ms Milam is responsible for coordinating collaborations between an extensive network of species conservation experts with the aim of finding practical solutions to pressing environmental and development challenges. You're now united with achievers like Dr. Yen, Ms Milam, and the people sitting around you as an alumnus of this university. Our network of passionate and talented alumni stretches across the world, now comprising over 143,000 members in 135 countries. The network and its chapters offer unique opportunities to connect professionally and socially with other alumni, and I really encourage you to stay in touch. It's a wonderful organisation. Today is the culmination of many years of hard work. The testament that you'll be presented with shortly is much more than a piece of paper. It's a symbol of all you've experienced during your time here at the university. This includes an acknowledgement of the support of your family and friends who've been with you every step of the way on your journey to today. You'll also be presented with a pin that features the artwork of local Indigenous artist Soretta Fielding. This gift from our university illustrates the importance of education and learning through the use of traditional symbols of people gathered around a central camp place which depicts the University of Newcastle. This will be presented to you by a member of our Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander community. To family and friends, we know that you're here to acknowledge the hard work of a very special person. We'd be very pleased, and I'm sure they will be as well, if you let them know you're here with a cheer as they receive their degree. Your involvement brings life to these ceremonies, so we encourage you to make a bit of noise, reasonable noise. Again, to our graduates, my heartfelt congratulations to each of you, and I now call on the Vice-Chancellor, Professor Alex Zelinsky, AO, to present a candidate for an honorary degree.
Chancellor, I have great pleasure in presenting you the Honourable Arthur Sinodinos AO for the admission to the degree of Doctors of Letters, honoris causa. Mr Sinodinos has had a distinguished career dedicated to the advancement of Australia and its people. Today we're delighted to recognise his outstanding contributions. Well known to many in the Newcastle community, Mr Sinodinos is both a Novocastrian and an alumnus of this university, holding a Bachelor of Commerce with honours. Spanning 4 decades, Mr Sinodinos' professional life started with the Commonwealth Public Service as a graduate recruit in the Department of Finance. This early career was just the beginning of a career. This early experience was the beginning of a career that would take him to the highest levels in the public service and in government. He reached the Senior Executive Service in Treasury before going on to serve as the Senior Economic Advisor in opposition to former Prime Minister, the Honourable John Howard AC. In 1997, Mr Sinodinos was appointed the Prime Minister Howard's Chief of Staff. In this role, he was widely regarded as being a stabilising force in Parliament, with his stewardship considered crucial for consultative leadership, bipartisan negotiation and the successful operation of Cabinet. As a result, Mr Sinodinos is widely respected in Parliament by current and former parliamentarians and by public servants. His most recent role has been as Senator for New South Wales in the Australian Parliament. Known for his intellect, openness and humility, in his maiden speech, Mr Sinodinos described his appointment to serve others as a noble calling. He went on to serve with esteem as Assistant Treasurer, Cabinet Secretary and Minister for Industry, Innovation and Science. The University of Newcastle community is delighted that Mr Sinodinos has been appointed the next Australian Ambassador to the USA, a position he takes up in early 2020. In recognition of his contributions, in 2008 he was appointed an Officer of the Order of Australia for his service to politics, through the executive function of government, to development of economic policy and reform, and to assisting the Greek community. Mr Sinodinos has been a long friend and supporter for the people of the Hunter and for this university. As a former member of the University Council and one of its most senior alumni, we value his friendship greatly. Today, our University Council is delighted to award this honorary degree in recognition of Mr Sinodinos' contribution to the University, to the Newcastle and to the Hunter. Chancellor, I present to you the Honourable Arthur Sinodinos AO for the admission of the degree of Doctor of Laws, honoris causa.
Well, thank you very much, Chancellor and Vice-Chancellor. I've known the Chancellor a long time. He's a wonderful leader of the university. You are very lucky to have him and get as much work out of him as you can. And in relation to the Vice-Chancellor, we've had a reasonably long association, including from his time at the Defence Science and Technology Organisation. So well done, Alex, on your leadership of the university. I had a great relationship with Carolyn McMillan and Nick Saunders, but I look forward to hearing many more great things from your stewardship of the university. I echo the welcome to country by the Chancellor. Our Indigenous heritage is at the heart of the unique Australian character. And for me, it's wonderful to be back at my alma mater for this important occasion in your lives. And thank you, the university, for permitting me to be part of it. I have happy memories of my time here in this serene bush setting. This university always used to promote itself as the university in the bush. How times have changed. But it was here that I grappled with the principles of economics because I wanted to know how the world worked. It was here that I was exposed to different stands of thinking and came to understand that there was more than one viewpoint possible on the great issues of the day. It was here that I firmed my resolve to apply economics to real-world problems and to embark on a career of public service that took me to Canberra and culminated in my service in the Australian Parliament. I hasten to add, my political career was accidental. It really was the culmination of a whole series of other steps informed along the way by my interest in economics and my love of public policy. But it was a privilege to serve there, and I look back on that journey and I say to you, the graduates, congratulations on your achievement. It's the end of one long journey and the beginning of an exciting new one. Enjoy the journey. Don't hurry to get to the destination. Today's the culmination of hard work, sacrifice and sheer persistence. Take time to celebrate, savour the moment, reflect on what you've achieved. You may be the first in your family to go to university. Your parents have scrimped and saved and perhaps risked their lives to give you a new beginning. That is the promise of Australia to so many who are drawn here from all parts of the world. And those of you who are mature-aged who've come back to study, well done on overcoming the tyranny and inertia of the status quo to give yourselves a new start. You know, I really jumped at the chance to come back to the university because I've become so optimistic about our nation's future when I meet the graduates coming out of great universities like Newcastle. But for you, the world is your oyster. You've been empowered by a first-class learning experience to set your own destiny. My advice is to use your newly acquired qualifications to follow your passion and do what gets you up in the morning. A good education is the foundation of true personal freedom and responsibility. It empowers us to look at the world through fresh eyes and bring new thinking to bear on old problems. The accumulation of knowledge instills an optimism that no problem is beyond a potential solution. Whatever difficulties or challenges humanity has created, humanity can solve. I also urge you to commit to a higher purpose in how you apply your new skills. This degree is more than a meal ticket. It's also an invitation to make the world a better place. You're entering or re-engaging with the workplace at a time when disruption, economic, technological and social, is the new constant. It brings with it great challenges and opportunities. But it is about more than making money. Corporates are being reminded every day that their purpose is to serve society and not vice versa. The social licence to operate is not some fancy business school concept. We used to think that society was best served if businesses simply maximised shareholder value. But that short-termism is now going out the window. Firms that wish to survive in today's complex environment have to take the long view. They have to be about creating and sharing value with customers, employees, suppliers, as well as shareholders. The public crave authenticity in their politicians and in their business leaders. They quickly work out who is fair income and who is not. So be your authentic self and commit yourself to a higher purpose. Ask yourself, why am I doing this? What do I get out of it? And what does my community get out of it? As the great poet John Donne said, "No man is an island entire of itself. Every man is a piece of the continent. We are social creatures. Meaningful relationships are the basis of trust and certainty in business and in life. Whatever your field, cultivate networks and fruitful long-term relationships. Put yourself in the shoes of the customer. Treat others as you would wish to be treated. Remember the parable of the Good Samaritan. His neighbour was the person he was in a position to help. Who is your neighbour? Now, I'll let you in on a secret. You'll get a great buzz out of helping others, for it is in giving that we receive. And as you go about your professional life, always uphold the values of the Academy: free and open inquiry, civil discourse, and a willingness to change your mind. We are living in a divided world, but we should always remember the things that unite us are infinitely greater than those that divide us. But fundamentally, remain open-minded. You got your degree because you were open to learning new ideas. Keep doing that through the years ahead. Continuous improvement and learning is vital in today's world. But I'm not talking just about vocational learning. but openness to new ideas and how the world works. The great economist John Maynard Keynes wrote, "When my information changes, I alter my conclusions. What do you do?" Remarkably today, there's a battle over the facts. People can choose their preferred news outlets, and with it the facts that confirm their preconceptions and biases. Respect for the scientific method is being undermined within and without the academy. Some people sneer at the testing of views in a rigorous peer-reviewed manner as scientism. But the beauty of science is that it's ever-changing. Beautiful theories are slain by ugly facts. It's not a body of settled conclusions that cannot be challenged or improved. I marvel at those who make unequivocal pronouncements in complete certitude of the facts. Climate change has become the classic battleground between supporters and denialists. But as a policymaker faced with a potentially existential decision, what should I do? The weight of science tells us that action is required. The most prudent thing to do is to prepare for the worst and hope for the best. To take action and risk being proven wrong is better than not taking action and being potentially proven catastrophically and irreversibly wrong. The famous French philosopher and mathematician Blaise Pascal faced this dilemma about belief in God. He said that you could gamble that God does not exist and behave accordingly and have a grand old time, do whatever you want and not worry about the consequences. Or you could act as if God existed and therefore live a more controlled, in inverted commas, life. But if you behaved badly, if you had gambled and God actually existed, you were in real trouble. You were in eternal trouble. But if you behaved well and God did not exist, what had you actually lost by behaving well in this life? I think it's the same with climate change. You have to go with where the balance of the risks is. Finally, let's think about this country as you go about your professional life. This is a big country, thanks to people like you in this room, the various generations, whether born here, who've made this country your home. It's a big country worthy of big ambitions. I support a bigger Australia on economic, cultural and geopolitical grounds. A bigger, better distributed population will allow a more balanced settlement of this great continent and give us the resources to deal with the infrastructure and environmental requirements that go with it. New migrants impart an economic and cultural dynamism, making us even more cosmopolitan and open-minded. Our multicultural character is a great attribute of this country. It's part of what makes Australia unique in the world. And we are a living example of how people from the four corners of the earth can live together, united by decent, humane, universal values. That's not being Pollyanna-ish. The reality is, by a belief in democracy, by a belief in English as the national language, by a belief in the rule of law, by all of that, we're united and able to celebrate our own heritage, no matter where we come from, but always with an overriding loyalty to this country that has brought us all together. Greater population will also allow us to exert more global influence and provide more scope for independent action. The world is an uncertain and rapidly changing place. The post-war settlement that established a global rules-based order and supported the globalisation of trade, of investment and people flows is breaking down. The rise of an assertive and technologically advanced China is creating new challenges for the world order. In particular, how the rise can be accommodated within the existing global architecture. We have been a big winner from globalisation. We want rules to create a level playing field for all nations, great and small. And we must continue to work with like-minded countries to reinforce that order and give as many nations as possible a meaningful stake in it. And we must keep reforming our economy to maximise our prosperity and its fair distribution. For 30 years, reform and open markets have created a prosperous, resilient economy able to cope with major shocks. We now have to complete the transformation to a science and innovation-based economy with an education and training system geared to the future of work. Progress is occurring, but there is more to do. Our competition, tax and regulatory policies need to keep nudging firms and entrepreneurs to take more risk. And our policies of diversity and inclusion must make sure that in areas like science, technology, engineering and maths, we're also encouraging as many women as men to be part of the process. Innovative nations create new goods and services, commanding a premium in the market and creating high-wage, high-productivity jobs. Our energy mix is changing, and that needs to continue. And we have to meld emissions reduction with more affordable energy. We can have as our aspiration to be the Saudi Arabia of alternative energy. Technology is reducing the costs of alternative energy sources, as well as identifying new forms of energy, backup and storage. The Hunter region and this great university is in the perfect position to champion these transitions. I've previously commended this university's Institute for Energy and Resources, which has fostered academic and industry collaboration on applied research to enhance productivity and sustainability. Such collaboration is a model across industry more generally. And the university is driving smart specialisation strategies for the region, specialising in new areas which will create new advantage and therefore new growth and jobs for the Hunter. The university has been a catalyst for so much positive change in this region. You're a model of providing education with a purpose and training students who serve the needs of the community as well as their own. So again, to you graduates, congratulations on reaching this important milestone. And remember, it's a milestone. After this, the going just gets harder and harder. But look forward, not back. And always remember, this is the best country in the world. Your mission, should you choose to accept it, is to make it even better. Thank you.
Dr. Sinodinos, thank you indeed for your very, very interesting occasional address. I'm sure I join with everyone else here in recognising that yours is quite a unique perspective and about to become even more unique as you take on your new role as our ambassador in the United States. So your words of wisdom are certainly grounded and delivered from that unique perspective. We very much appreciate your confidence, which is well placed. I'm sure, as you've suggested, we are in a position in the Hunter and at this university to deliver solutions to future issues, including those in this alternate energy space. So I'm sure your words today will inspire and direct our graduates of today, all of whom, of course, are in a position now to drive some of that change. So thank you indeed for your presentation and our very best wishes for your future. Ladies and gentlemen, we now come to a very important aspect of the ceremony. For this, I'm going to ask that all of our graduates please stand. Would you please stand? Thank you. As Chancellor of this university, I now officially confer awards to all those candidates whose names appear in the graduation ceremony handbook and who fulfilled the conditions for admission to that award. And I wonder if you'd all join me in applauding the wonderful achievements of these graduates. Thank you very much. Please be seated. I now have pleasure on calling on Professor Lee Smith, Pro-Vice-Chancellor for the Faculty of Science, to present graduates.
Chancellor, a higher degree by research is awarded to a graduate who has successfully completed a programme of study in which the defining characteristic is research. Doctor of Philosophy graduates have undertaken a programme of independent supervised study for the equivalent of up to 4 years of full-time study. These graduates have produced significant and original research outcomes, culminating in a thesis which has been independently examined by external expert examiners of international standing. These graduates have developed a substantial body of knowledge at the frontier of a field of work or learning that constitutes an original contribution. Candidates can apply their knowledge and skills to demonstrate autonomy, authoritative judgment, adaptability and responsibility as an expert and leading scholar, with the ongoing capacity to generate new knowledge. Today, the University is proud to honour graduates who have satisfied the rigorous criteria for the award of Doctor of Philosophy. Chancellor, I present to you Hamid Abbasfard for the degree of Doctor of Philosophy. Dr. Abbasfard's thesis is entitled A Methodology for DEM Modelling of a Liquid Fluidized Bed Using a Random Fluid Fluctuating Velocity. Chancellor, I present Dr. Abbasfard. Chancellor, I present to you Mahmoud Abdul Hussaini for the degree of Doctor of Philosophy. Dr. Abdul Hussaini's thesis is entitled Analysis of Microscopy Images, Modelling and Reconstruction. Chancellor, I present Dr. Abdul Hussaini. Chancellor, I present to you Mahdi Abul-Qasimi for the degree of Doctor of Philosophy. Dr. Abul-Qasimi's thesis is entitled Forecasting in Supply Chains, the Impact of Demand Volatility in the Presence of Promotions. Chancellor, I present Dr. Abul-Qasimi. Chancellor, I present to you Armin Aga Karimi for the degree of Doctor of Philosophy. Dr. Aga Karimi's thesis is entitled Sea Level Variability and Mean Sea Level Determination Around Australia from Satellite Altimetry. Chancellor, I present Dr. Aga Karimi. Chancellor, I present to you Ala Al-Ahmed for the degree of Doctor of Philosophy. Dr. Al-Ahmed's thesis is entitled Design and Construction of a Novel Large Area LED Solar Simulator for Photovoltaic Cell Characterization. Chancellor, I present Dr. Al-Ahmed. Chancellor, I present to you Eddie Bain for the degree of Doctor of Philosophy. Dr. Bain's thesis is entitled The Effect of Flow Unsteadiness on Sorting and Self-Maintenance of Pool Riffle Sequences. Chancellor, I present Dr. Bain. Chancellor, I present to you Stephanie Bower for the degree of Doctor of Philosophy. Dr. Bower's thesis is entitled Understanding Chromosome Dimer Resolution Systems of Pathogenic Bacteria at a Molecular Level. Chancellor, I present Dr. Bower. Chancellor, I present to you Shiv Bolan for the degree of Doctor of Philosophy. Dr. Bolan's thesis is entitled Gut Microbes, Heavy Metalloid Interactions. Chancellor, I present Dr. Bolan. Chancellor, I present to you Jess Burke for the degree of Doctor of Philosophy. Dr. Burke's thesis is entitled Hemispheric Asymmetry and Functional Lateralization in Speech-Related Processes, Behavioural, Psychophysiological and Structural Factors. Chancellor, I present Dr. Burke. Chancellor, I present to you Michael Carr for the degree of Doctor of Philosophy. Dr. Carr's thesis is entitled Identification, Characterization and Modelling of Dynamic Adhesion for Optimized Transfer System Design. Chancellor, I present Dr. Carr. Chancellor, I present to you Julie Casey for the degree of Doctor of Philosophy. Dr. Casey's thesis is entitled Factors Influencing Risk of Child Abuse to Improve Risk Assessment in Child Protective Services. Chancellor, I present Dr. Casey. Chancellor, I present to you Desidi Chibwe for the degree of Doctor of Philosophy. Dr. Chibwe's thesis is entitled Optimised Burden Delivery for Blast Furnace Operations. Chancellor, I present Dr. Chibwe. Chancellor, I present to you Olivia Evans for the degree of Doctor of Philosophy. Dr. Evans' thesis is entitled It's Lonely at the Bottom, Investigating the Role of Social Integration in the Relationship Between Social Class and Mental Health. Chancellor, I present Dr. Evans. Chancellor, I present to you Clotilda Evelines for the degree of Doctor of Philosophy. Dr. Evelyn's thesis is entitled Heterogeneous Catalytic Processes for Carbon Nanotube Growth Control. Chancellor, I present Dr. Evelyn's. Chancellor, I present to you Dominique Fuchs for the degree of Doctor of Philosophy. Dr. Fuchs' thesis is entitled Influence of Lens-Induced Myopia on Retinal Gene Expression in the Guinea Pig. Chancellor, I present Dr. Fuchs. Chancellor, I present to you Ryle Gordon for the degree of Doctor of Philosophy. Dr. Gordon's thesis is entitled Contesting Boundaries, Navigating the Exclusions of Community Economies. Chancellor, I present Dr. Gordon. Chancellor, I present to you Ji Chun Hao for the degree of Doctor of Philosophy. Dr. Hao's thesis is entitled Attachment, Mindfulness and the Social Integration in the Adjustment of Australian and Chinese University Students, a Cross-Cultural Comparison. Chancellor, I present Dr. Hao. Chancellor, I present Mohammed Akhtar Hussain for the degree of Doctor of Philosophy. Dr. Hussain's thesis is entitled Modelling of Semi-Interlocking Masonry Based on Observed Behaviour. Chancellor, I present Dr. Hussain. Chancellor, I present to you Hadi Hosseini-Amoli for the degree of Doctor of Philosophy. Dr. Hosseini-Amoli's thesis is entitled Catalytic Combustion of Ventilation Air Methane, an in-depth study of catalyst deactivation. Chancellor, I present Dr. Hosseini-Amoli. Chancellor, I present to you Mohammed Ilas for the degree of Doctor of Philosophy. Dr. Ilas's thesis is entitled Finite Element Methods and Multi-Field Applications. Chancellor, I present Dr. Ilas. Chancellor, I present to you Uzair Khan for the degree of Doctor of Philosophy. Dr. Khan's thesis is entitled Natural Gait in Humanoid Robots. Chancellor, I present Dr. Khan. Chancellor, I present to you Sajiv Kunaharan for the degree of Doctor of Philosophy. Dr. Kunaharan's thesis is entitled Implicit versus Explicit Measures of Emotion Processing in People with Aggressive Tendencies and Those Who Use Pornography. Chancellor, I present Dr. Kunaharan. Chancellor, I present to you Soon Ho Lee for the degree of Doctor of Philosophy. Dr. Lee's thesis is entitled A Mechanistic Study of the Formation of Plastic Layers During the Heating of Coking Coal. Chancellor, I present Dr. Lee. Chancellor, I present to you Shang Liu for the degree of Doctor of Philosophy. Dr. Liu's thesis is entitled Empirical and Theoretical Modelling of the Effects of Slab-Edged Insulation in Slab On-Ground Housing. Chancellor, I present Dr. Liu. Chancellor, I present to you Carol Martin for the degree of Doctor of Philosophy. Dr. Martin's thesis is entitled Cultural Ecosystem Services Derived from Estuaries in New South Wales, Australia. Chancellor, I present Dr. Martin. Chancellor, I present to you Bettina Mihalas for the degree of Doctor of Philosophy. Dr. Mihalas's thesis is entitled Molecular Mechanisms Contributing to the Age-Related Decline in Oocyte Quality. Chancellor, I present Dr. Mihalas. Chancellor, I present to you Mojtaba Mokhtari for the degree of Doctor of Philosophy. Dr. Mokhtari's thesis is entitled Numerical Failure Assessment of Corroded Steel Pipes. Chancellor, I present Dr. Mokhtari. Chancellor, one of our students, Peter Newman, sadly passed away at the time of undertaking his Doctor of Philosophy degree. The degree of Doctor of Philosophy has been awarded to him posthumously. Dr. Newton's thesis is entitled The Deployment of Thermosiphons to Extract Heat for Burning Coal Mine Waste. Dr. Newton's degree will be accepted today by his niece, Jessica Burgoyne. Chancellor, I present to you Duke Huan Nguyen for the degree of Doctor of Philosophy. Dr. Nguyen's thesis is entitled The Development of Setaria viridis as a Model System to Investigate Type II Cell Wall Construction, Deconstruction and Biomass Quality Traits. Chancellor, I present Dr. Nguyen. Chancellor, I present to you Hong Nok Tui Pham for the degree of Doctor of Philosophy. Dr. Pham's thesis is entitled Investigation of the Biological and Anti-Cancer Properties of Bioactive Compounds derived from Helicteris hirsuta and Catharanthus roseus. Chancellor, I present Dr. Pham. Chancellor, I present to you Ben Routley for the degree of Doctor of Philosophy. Dr. Routley's thesis is entitled Investigation of Thermally Induced Morphological Changes in Organic Photovoltaic Devices. Chancellor, I present Dr. Routley. Chancellor, I present to you Saeed Nima Salimi Eshkevari for the degree of Doctor of Philosophy. Dr. Salimi Eshkevari's thesis is entitled Bearing Capacity of Surface Strip Footings on Layered Soils. Chancellor, I present Dr. Salimi Eshkevari. Chancellor, I present to you Samara Singha Chamila for the degree of Doctor of Philosophy. Dr. Chimila's thesis is entitled Toxicity of Parabens and Metal Oxide Nanoparticles to Human Spermatozoa and Earthworm Reproduction. Chancellor, I present Dr. Chamila. Chancellor, I present to you Ujjal Shorda for the degree of Doctor of Philosophy. Dr. Shorda's thesis is entitled Modelling of Thermotransport in Engineering Materials. Chancellor, I present Dr. Shorda. Chancellor, I present to you Katrina Sly for the degree of Doctor of Philosophy. Dr. Sly's thesis is entitled The Impact of Psychopathy, Traits on Facial Expression Processing Among Individuals with a Psychotic Disorder, Associations with Symptomatology, Emotion Regulation and Cognitive Functioning. Chancellor, I present Dr. Sly. Chancellor, I present to you Jeremy Stoddard for the degree of Doctor of Philosophy. Dr. Stoddard's thesis is entitled Innovative Data-Driven Modelling and Control for Nonlinear Systems Using Volterra Series. Chancellor, I present Dr. Stoddard. Chancellor, I present to you Joshua Sutherland for the degree of Doctor of Philosophy. Dr. Sutherland's thesis is entitled Flotation of Coarse Particles in the Reflux Flotation Cell. Chancellor, I present Dr. Sutherland. Chancellor, I present to you Mahir Tamil for the degree of Doctor of Philosophy. Dr. Tamil's thesis is entitled Development of Novel Binary and Ternary Blend Organic Photovoltaics. Chancellor, I present Dr. Tamil. Chancellor, I present to you Justin Tamora for the degree of Doctor of Philosophy. Dr. Tamora's thesis is entitled Extending the Temporal Principle of Multisensory Integration, a Psychophysical and EEG Investigation of Cross-Modal Acoustic and Vibrotactile Amplitude Modulation. Chancellor, I present Dr. Tamora. Chancellor, I present to you Dewey Tran for the degree of Doctor of Philosophy. Dr. Tran's thesis is entitled The Aggregate Association Index and its Extension for the Analysis of Multiple 2x2 Contingency Tables. Chancellor, I present Dr. Tran. Chancellor, I present to you Anthony Ume for the degree of Doctor of Philosophy. Dr. Ume's thesis is entitled Bioaccessibility of Polycyclic Aromatic Hydrocarbons in Soil, Investigations into the Potential Risks Associated with Exposure to Residual PAHs in Soil. Chancellor, I present Dr. Ume. Chancellor, I present to you Ellen Vahidi for the degree of Doctor of Philosophy. Dr. Vahidi's thesis is entitled Response of Pool Riffle Dynamics to Changes in Sediment Supply and Flow Hydrographs. Chancellor, I present Dr. Vahidi. Chancellor, I present to you Zhu Xia for the degree of Doctor of Philosophy. Dr. Xia's thesis is entitled Unraveling Transfer Cell Development, Wall Labyrinth Construction and Reaction Oxygen Species. Chancellor, I present Dr. Xia. Chancellor, I present to you Kei Hong Yan for the degree of Doctor of Philosophy. Dr. Yan's thesis is entitled Lead Bioavailability as Influenced by Its Sources, Speciation and Soil Properties. Chancellor, I present Dr. Yan. Chancellor, I present to you Bing Yu for the degree of Doctor of Philosophy. Dr. Yu's thesis is entitled CO2 Capture by Aqueous Diamine Solutions. Chancellor, I present Dr. Yu. Chancellor, I present to you Wei Xu for the degree of Doctor of Philosophy. Dr. Xu's thesis is entitled Functional Characterization of Dynamine in Spermatozoa Epididymal Maturation and Acrosomal Exocytosis. Chancellor, I present Dr. Xu. Chancellor, I present to you Clive Allen for the degree of Doctor of Philosophy. Dr. Allen's thesis is entitled Seismic Assessment of In-Plane Shear-Loaded Unreinforced Masonry Walls with Openings. Chancellor, I present Dr. Allen. Chancellor, I now present to you graduates who have satisfied the requirements of a postgraduate award from the Faculty of Science. Graduating with a Master of Aviation Management, Chirath Asobalij Piasiri. Graduating with a Master of Business Psychology with Distinction, Megan Casey. Caroline Hungerford. Alexandra McGregor. Catherine McElwain. Joel Walker. Graduating with a Master of Clinical Psychology with Distinction, Sani Andrijic. Tanya Crawford. Nicole Duffy. Jennifer Fisher. Anita Gray. April Griffiths. Taylor Hadlow. Diane Head. Simon Mierendorf. Renee Morrison. Rosalind Redshaw. Amir Salim. Bree Sandwith. Brianna Shayler. Graduating with a Master of Environmental Management and Sustainability with distinction, Christopher Wilmot. Graduating with a Master of Environmental Management and Sustainability, Chantal Singh. Alina Tipper. Michael Olf. Chancellor, that concludes the presentation of graduates from the Faculty of Science at this time.
Thank you. We'll now enjoy a musical interlude by Mr. Callum MacDonald and Mr. Terence Coob performing Time of Your Life by Green Day. Callum is a graduate of our Bachelor of Music program. Terence has been awarded both a Bachelor of Music with Honours Class 1 and the University Medal and a Master of Arts in Music from this university. Thank you both.